Best life. All these niggas stress like 90.
Hello, everyone. You are listening to the Couch Coaches Summer Edition. I am your host, Billy Trice, and I'm going to give up my overview of game one of the finals. Crazy game last night. Very intriguing. It was definitely a fun game to watch. So the Warriors did win 124 to 114 in overtime. And yes, there was a lot of drama, so I will get into that. But first, I just want to start off on how we got to that point and the real reason why the Warriors won. Because I don't feel like people saw how the Warriors won. It wasn't with 3-point shooting. Not, KD shot horrendously in general. Stephen Clay played well, but the rest of the team didn't really shoot that well. The Cavaliers didn't really shoot that well from 3-point range. But everybody did shoot in the whole game. Everybody did shoot fairly well from the field. Everybody was above 45% from the field, which is, not always the case and not always, doesn't always happen. But, they both teams shot well from the field. Where I feel like this game was won and lost was from the free throw line. And we saw that at the end of the game also. But Cleveland was 16 for 22, only 72% from the free throw line. And, we all know, George Hill missed that layup. Didn't miss the layup, missed the foul shot. And that kind of put J.R. Smith in this situation, which I'll talk about later. But Golden State was 19 for 20 from the free throw line, and they were 95%. That's the difference in the game. Golden State hits their foul shots, and Cleveland doesn't. Because if we're going to be completely honest, if the Cavaliers hit more of those free throws, they're not in the position at the end late in that game. That is the real reason. That's where this game was won and lost. And also on the rebounding factor. Look, the Cavaliers out-rebounded the Warriors by over 10 boards. They had more than 10 boards over them. And they still couldn't find a way to win. If you out-rebound a team the way that they did, you have to find a way to win. There's no question about it. There's no if, and, or but. You've got to find a way to win. But moving on to how, all those things led up to how the game ended and things like that. First, I want to talk about the LeBron charge call and how that was changed. From the naked eye, game speed, when it first happened, I'd agree with the call. I said that was a charge. That's what I agreed with everybody. I thought it was a charge. But when going back to the play, it's so clear that LeBron was still moving. And I know people want to say, it looked like he was standing there to the naked eye. I understand that, but they got it right by changing it to a blocking because LeBron was still sliding. His foot was still moving. If LeBron would have just stood his ground, it would have been a charge, but he did like an extra movement at the end, and that's what made it to be a blocking charge. And I know people aren't a fan of them going back to look at the play and how no other foul is going back and looked at, but this was the only one that was. I get it, I do, but the refs were in the right to look at it. They thought that LeBron James, the way he fell, he could have been in the restricted area, so they went back and looked at it. And when doing so, they saw that LeBron was still sliding. And I feel like that's the whole point of replay in general. That's why we have it, is to get the calls right. It's not to appease people and to have, calls that were called during, what we saw through the naked eye for them to stay. We want the calls to be right. We want the right call to be called. And for that reason, I feel like I have no problem with how everything went down. I agree with the call that was called on the court at first, and then I agree with the change. That's the whole point of replay. We're human beings. We're not perfect. We're going to get things wrong. It's the nature of the game, and it's the nature of our society now. We have better technology than we did before, so we're using it to make the game better and to get calls right. And that's the whole point of it, and that's the whole gist. But moving on later on into the game, look, George Hill, you gotta you got to hit that free throw. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Those are the only 2 free throw shots you had. You went 1 for 2. That can't happen. You can't go 50% from the free throw line. Like, that's unacceptable for a point guard in today's game. You have to do better. Then J.R. Smith. Look, I don't think he should have just went right up. I think KD would have blocked it anyway. But I do understand the fact that you didn't even give your team a chance. KD could have fouled you. There could have been a foul call. Anything could have happened if you just throw the ball up. So I do see that point of view, and I do understand that. But me personally, I kind of see where JR might have been thinking where, like, oh, if I just throw it up, like, it's going to get blocked. And for the people that thought that he said, I thought we were up. Me watching his lips, I don't think he said that. I don't know what he said, but I don't think that's what he said. And I do believe that JR did know that the game was tied. I just think at the heat of the moment, he didn't know what he thought a timeout was going to get called. He just didn't know. But I wouldn't put that on JR. To be honest, I put that on the coach. Your team should know situational basketball. That's the coach's job, to make sure everybody who's on the court understands the moment and understands what's going to happen if they're in this predicament. That's on Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue did not do a good enough job on making sure that J.R. Smith knew what was going to happen, making sure everybody else knew what was going to happen. And I know it's a bang-bang play, and it's not all on Tyronn Lue because J.R. Smith holds some responsibility. He's, should have enough basketball IQ to make a play. But the fact of the matter is that it's not all on JR. And I see people just putting it all on JR's shoulders, and that's not fair to him because Tyronn Lue has to take some of this blame, and George Hill has to take some of this blame also. It's not just on J.R. Smith. But so once the game got into the overtime, Cleveland was just deflated, and you saw it. They had no chance of winning. It was just a done deal. But I'm interested for game 2. I'm interested to see, look, the Warriors didn't really shoot crazy well from the 3-point range. Neither did the Cavaliers. When the Cavaliers shoot well from the 3, they normally win. So if they can still find, the Cavaliers didn't play at their highest potential, and they still lost a close one. So I want to see, what the Cavaliers can do. LeBron had a crazy game. He had 51. He played out of his mind. He did what he needed to do. But he didn't get enough help. Jeff Green, he needed to give him a little bit more than he did. He was 1 for 6 from the 3-point range. He's got to hit his threes when he's open. Kevin Love's got to hit. He's only hit 1 3. He's got to get going. LeBron needs help. And, if they don't shoot well from the 3, they normally don't win. So that's my key. If they shoot well from the 3, this could be a very scary series. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you for watching Couch Coaches the Summer Edition. I've been your host, Billy Trice. Thanks, guys.
Like 9 a.m. exams and I just had my best night at 21. Drinking is just not as fun. Think about things I done done. Got regrets, but if they ask, I have none. College coming to a close.